All right, WhiskyJason here, a Whiskey Live Dublin 2022, and I have the privilege of talking together with
Millar here from Hinch Distillery.
And you are a distiller.
Yes.
Very, very good. I talked yesterday with Megan from Great Northern Distillery. I love having women in front of the camera to encourage other women to also think about distilling. So how did you get into distilling?
So about 5 or 6 years ago, I actually went off to Australia and went on what I call an educational trip.
Yeah.
And
Some other people call it gap year.
And I actually got the opportunity to visit loads of breweries, distilleries, and vineyards, and that's kind of where I fell in love with the process.
Yes.
I came home and I applied for the Masters in Brewing and Distilling in Scotland, same as Megan. I did it the same year as Megan.
Yes.
And then I worked over in Scotland in a gin distillery for almost 2 years, and then moved home.
Excellent.
And I've been here for almost 2 years. So.
Excellent. Now, let's talk very briefly about the distilling process. So you take your grains in. Where do you get your grains from?
We currently get all our grain from Minch Malt in Ireland.
Okay, very, very good. And then you have a mill. Is it a hammer mill or roller mill? How do you do that?
Roller mill for rollers.
Yep.
With a 1.1 ton crispin.
Yep. All right, you're doing good. Okay, no problem, perfect. Now, what is very interesting is I think you only make single malt. You don't make single pot still, or do you?
We are making currently triple distilled single malt at the moment. Not going to rule out pot still. Also not going to rule out potentially peated single malts.
Okay.
We're a very young distillery. We get the opportunity to play about with a lot of things, and why not? Because we have a great opportunity here, so we can do what we like and try to make the best product possible.
Now, what's more fun for you, actually, the distilling process or the maturation and actually tasting all the different cask types and what's happening there?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, I know.
I really love the distilling process. I say that's what got me to fall in love with distilling. Also really love the idea of in 5-10 years time being able to pull out some of the liquid that we produced and get to blend it back in, or create something nice. And I really love to see a product that I made from the start and see it go right through to fruition at the end, so in a finished bottle.
Now, you're young enough that you'll actually be able to have an 18-year-old whiskey in your lifetime.
I hope so.
Yeah, I know. So imagine, Noel Sweeney today makes something, he will not see an 18-year-old product anymore, probably. Who knows, he might get lucky. But you might see maybe older. How old do you hope the Irish whiskey could go? What would be a great age to experience?
Well, I met a distiller who had just retired. He's from Scotland. He had just pulled out a 40-year-old cask that he distilled 40 years ago, and he filled it, and him and his whole family were pictured beside it when they were disgorging it again. So that was his retirement present.
So that might be your retirement present.
Pretty cool.
A 40-year-old Irish whiskey here, made by you.
Well,
that would be very, very nice.
Maybe someday.
Now, Hinch is a fairly high-class distillery, from the equipment, from the look, from the feel, from the marketing. Now, what's so special otherwise about Hinch for you?
Can I talk about the gin on?
Yeah, you can talk about gin. Yes. I might edit it out, but who knows?
The fact that we do not only single malt, but we also do a gin as well. As much as I love producing whiskey, I also love making gin. It's probably one of my other favourites. But it's probably where my heart lies a little bit too. In making gin. And
you pick the botanicals yourself?
Yes. So some of them we get. We just launched one today actually. And some of the botanicals were picked fresh. And others were sourced in.
Right. Very, very, very good. Now, last question. You almost made it. 10 years in the future with Irish whiskey, where do you see it going? Will it continue to skyrocket as it has?
Well, I think it's one of the fastest growing industries, and it's set to overtake Scotch. Don't quote me on that.
I have heard it many times. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Will not quote me, but I'd love to see it just keep going up and up, and see all these new distilleries taking on. It's really nice to see lots of new distilleries popping up over the country. So it's nice.
That is nice. Very, very good. And young people like yourself drink some gin, and they might make their way over to whiskey, right?
Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of females in the distilling world as well. So.
If you could give a tip to a female future distiller, what would you say?
Just go for it. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what Megan also said. I asked her, were there any obstacles? She says, no, people actually helped me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so encouraging, she
Yeah,
said.
I really love it. Just get stuck in, just enjoy, make the most of it, learn as much as you can.
Yep.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask any questions.
Yep.
You're always learning every day.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's a good thing. Very good. WhiskyJason here, learning every day. Bye-bye.